Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name's Kuzumai.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name's Kuzumai, and today's video we're going to try something new. There won't be any clips at the end of this, there won't be any gameplay, but this video is something that I feel like that you guys deserved a long time ago, but I just never really thought about doing it. The intro, a little explanation. This is kind of tying into the video as well. My son just had his 3rd birthday, so we had some extra balloons laying around, and I was messing around with helium, and I thought, why not do my intro with helium? And I can't do it. I laughed too hard. I tried doing that thing. I had 8 balloons. This is the last one. 8 balloons, last one. I tried to get a good intro where I didn't laugh in the middle of it. It's impossible. Impossible. Anyways, this video is going to be my backstory, more or less, about who I am, what I do, what I did do, what I plan to do in the future. Well, let's start childhood. If you guys, probably if you haven't seen the bottom of the screen and looked at the time, this video is gonna be long because I'm gonna go through a lot of my life. If you guys don't care to know anything about me, just hit that like button and move on. But if you are my OG subs and you really want to know who I am, what I'm about, I would suggest sticking around, because I'm about to let out a lot, not let out, but I'm about to school you guys on a lot of things about me, and then you'll kind of know, why I do certain things the way I do. Childhood. I grew up in a small town in Kansas. I unlike a lot of kids nowadays, and including myself now, I used every day was outside playing. Like I didn't have games. The Nintendo 64 hadn't even come out yet, so game systems weren't really big yet. So I didn't watch a lot of TV. I didn't do anything like that. So we played outside, rode bikes, went fishing, hunting, stuff like that. And then, like I said, for Christmas, my dad got a Nintendo 64 with Donkey Kong, the original. If y'all know what I'm talking about, the N64, the little orange cartridge or yellow cartridge with Donkey Kong. And for like the next month, we would sit down and watch my dad play Donkey Kong, and we would sit there right next to him and had the walkthrough guide. We were like circling the bananas that he got to make sure he got all the bananas, circling this, that, the other. That was the start of my gaming. That was like the moment where I was like, this is amazing. Like, to be able to just immerse yourself in a game and completely lose sight of the world around you, and the world around you is now what you're playing, which has to be the coolest thing in the world. Hats off to all you game makers out there that can suck someone into their game and completely make them forget about what's going on around them to a point where they feel like they're in a game that they're playing. The first real game that I got like super into was I can't even like remember the first real game. I guess it would be Halo 1 on the Xbox. My next door neighbor got an Xbox for Christmas, and we would go over there every day, and we would play Halo, the original Halo, on Blood Gulch. For my OG Halo players out there, and we would play 1v1s, or we'd go play campaign, and then some other smaller games came out. We played those a little bit, and then the Xbox 360 came out, and we got an Xbox 360, and that was the coolest thing in the world. We were playing Halo 2, Modern Warfare, the first time Modern Warfare came out, and then we moved on to Modern Warfare 2, Halo 3, and I remember sitting outside a GameStop for hours waiting to get Halo 3 when it first came out, and that right there probably turned the tides for the amount of gaming I did. And then what completely just capsized my gaming ship was when Modern Warfare 2 came out, and that was like the first time I like competitive first person shooter gaming really like caught my attention. As you can tell from the early parts of my channel, I have done a lot of Call of Duty content, and that is all thanks to Modern Warfare 2. I don't know how many of you out there actually did this legitimate or not, but I made it to 10th Prestige level 70 as I don't know, 14, maybe 14. I don't remember when it came out, and I don't remember how old I was, but I know I was younger. And I legitimately made it all the way through the ranks to 10th Prestige level 70. Right after that, I hopped into a hacked lobby and got all the achievements and stuff like that. So I didn't do all the achievements legitimately, but I did get to 10th Prestige level 70 legitimate. And that was a fucking grind back then. And so like now seeing games where you have like 15 prestiges, or Infinite Warfare, which had 30 prestiges, I can only imagine if I was growing up with Infinite Warfare and looking at 30 prestiges and being like, oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. But yeah, after Modern Warfare 2 came out, I had a bunch of friends of mine in middle school who all got BMX bikes, and I was like, I used to skateboard, so I was like, yo, let's, I'll pick up my skateboard again, we'll go to the skate park. And they would ride BMX and I would skate, and I wasn't enjoying myself, because while all my friends were doing this and that and the other and learning new things, I was on a skateboard kind of like, man, this is fucking dumb. I want a bike. So I saved up enough money from mowing lawns around my neighborhood to buy myself my first complete bike, which was an Eastern, I can't remember the name of the complete bike. It was like a $200 bike from Eastern, which if you guys aren't BMXers, Eastern complete bikes aren't top of the line. Let's just say that. They're not top of the line. And for all my BMXers out there, y'all are already laughing at me for, because I'm telling you right now, any BMXer out there watching this right now that's laughing at me is laughing at themselves as well. Because they had this, they started out the same way. And if you didn't, that's because you had parents who bought you shit. But I didn't grow up that way. I didn't grow up with my parents buying me everything. So I had to earn everything I got. But yeah, that was my first bike, was an Eastern pre-built bike. And that was when gaming took a hold. Like it got a red light. It was when I picked up a BMX bike. And I ran with it. I ran with BMXing for to this day. I still BMX. I think I love BMXing just as much as I love gaming. But I spent the next to my senior year in high school just riding every day after school, every day, every weekend. I would wake up at like 9 o'clock in the morning, go out and ride, and I wouldn't come back until 9 o'clock at night when the lights shut off and we had to leave. It's somewhere in between my junior and senior year, I got picked up for a flow team by Shadow BMX. And they floated me a couple parts. I did a couple videos for them. The videos, I have another channel, another YouTube channel, which I'm not going to let you guys know what it is. I don't even think I have videos up on that channel anymore. And if I do, I probably have to, I probably don't even remember the login for it anymore. Anyways, that's where I did all my BMX videos and stuff like that. I should probably try to find that and see what I can pull together. But yeah, as I graduated high school, I met this wonderful woman. Well, I wouldn't say graduated. As a junior in high school, I met this wonderful woman, girl at the time. We hung out. We went out off and on for a long time. And then once I graduated high school and she graduated high school, we kind of got more serious. And I knew that I wanted to marry her, and I'm glad I did. From like, she probably won't ever watch this video, so, but yeah, I knew I wanted to marry her, so I knew I had to do something to show that I could provide for her as a woman, and I could fulfill the needs that she needed, a house, a cozy place to raise children. So I was looking at my options. I was working at a construction company making $20 an hour, but I was getting laid off every year from November-ish to February-ish timeframe. So that wasn't good enough. That 4 months of not being able to have money was just, the money during when I was working was great, but the money when I wasn't working was nothing. So I knew that at that lull there was a time that I knew that we would be kind of freaking out that we didn't have money. So I went around, I talked to a bunch of recruiters for the military because I knew it was a guaranteed paycheck every month, every paycheck until your contract was up. So I went around, my parents were like, well, if you really want to join the military, you should join the Air Force, because they wanted me to be safe. And I regret what I said, but I also don't regret it at the same time. And I said, if I'm going to fucking do it, I'm not going to be a bitch about it, and I'm going to go big. And I walked into a Marine Corps recruiting office and signed my name on that dotted line. In October 8th, 2012, I got on a bus to the airport, and on the airport to San Diego, California, and I started my transition from a civilian to United States Marine. I did 3 months, 13 weeks in San Diego, graduated boot camp in January 4th of 2013, and flew to Missouri. I can't even think. Hold on, Fort Lost in the Woods. Oh my God, what is it? It's Fort Lost in the Woods. I can't think of the name right now. This is gonna kill me. Anyways, that's where I did my military police training, and then and that's when we well, before I went to boot camp, let me run it back a little bit. Before I went to boot camp, we found out that Brandy, my wife, was pregnant with our daughter at the time. So all throughout boot camp, the only thing I had on my mind was, is she okay? How is she doing? How is the baby coming along? And every so often I would get like sonograms in the mail, and that meant like that was brought me to tears every time. Every time I got mail and I would pull it open and I would see my daughter in this little black square on a piece of paper. It was humbling to be able to look at that and know that everything I'm doing was for them. We didn't have a name at the time when I was in boot camp, but when we were both younger, and the first time we were dating, we talked about what names we would use for different, and the name Chapin got tossed around, and I was like, nah, I don't really like that name, no. And she was like, well, okay, well, we'll see. And while I was doing the Reaper for all my Marines out there, as I was going up that last hill, all I could think in my head was Chapin Elizabeth Smith. Now, that's what we named our daughter. I don't know why I thought that, but it was the motivation for me that got me up that mountain to become a Marine, to not bitch out, to not be a pussy, and just to suck it the fuck up. Honestly, and so did all my training in Fort Leonard Wood. There it is, Fort Leonard Wood. Lost in the Woods, Fort Leonard Wood. Anyways, I did all my training in Fort Leonard Wood, and they said, you'll be going to Cherry Point, North Carolina, where Marines go to die. Not physically die, but where their careers go to die. You don't really make it out of there alive, your career at least. And that's where I spent my life, which you guys know that I was there as a Marine. If you guys are OG subs, you know, because that's when I started my channel, when I was in North Carolina. So I didn't game really. until about a year and a half into being in North Carolina, where I met some of the greatest friends I'll ever have. Wade, I won't use last names. Wade, Chase, Alex, just to name a few. Jared, I know you're gonna be salty if I don't say your name, but I didn't meet you till a couple years later. So I'm doing the ones that really brought me back into this. So don't think I'm leaving you out. Noah, Alex, Brian, like shush. I'm talking about the OGs. Chase, and he's a guy. He's an introvert. He plays tons of video games. He's a musician, beautiful on the guitar and the piano, and he was a mentor to me as a Marine. And when I went over to his house, he had a game room the size of most people's living room, and it had all of his guitars. He had a giant, like 70-something inch TV with an Xbox, a PS4, an Xbox 360, Nintendo 64, and just all of it hooked up to this TV with these giant speakers that could fill a stadium of like 2,500 people. Or, sorry, 25,000 people. Not 2,500, that's a small amount. 25,000 people or something like that. Some crazy amount. And we would play Destiny. Intro to me coming back as a gamer was the original Destiny 1. We were playing. I didn't really, I just came over and played on their accounts, this, that, and the other. And Chase went and bought himself a new brand new Xbox One not slim, like some crazy different Xbox, and he gave me his old Xbox One, and said, here's Destiny 1, let's play. And that was right after the beta for Destiny. And then the next 2 years of my life were grinding Destiny, playing trials, doing the nightfalls, doing the strikes, this, that, and the other. And that was the most fun I've had, because we'd have 6 people in this living room with all of our backs together, with TVs and consoles circling us, and we would be up until the sun came up, and then into the next day doing raids and playing. We didn't sleep. It was horrible for us. Don't do it. It was horrible. Lost a ton of sleep, lost a ton of weight, was not eating well. So I don't recommend it, but I do recommend it all at the same time. And then Infinite Warfare came out, and I was like, the last COD title I ever played was Modern Warfare 2. And so I was like, I don't think boost jumping and shit should be a Call of Duty game at all. And which a lot of people still think that to this day, that jetpacking should not be in Call of Duty. But now you have World War II, and people are bitching that people are camping in corners. So you guys forgot what boots on the ground really was. But I was like, I'm not buying that, because I don't feel like wasting money on a game that I'm not going to play. So my buddy Wade bought the game for me and said, here, fucking play this with me, because this game is amazing. And that's where I met a lot of new people that play this game, or that played that game. So Noah, Brian, Alex, that's where I met you guys. We're kind of getting close to the end of not the end of my life, but this part of my life. Yeah, so once Infinite Warfare came out and I realized that I was pretty good at the game, I just was like, we were playing zombies one day, and I was doing this stupid thing on like I was like trying to troll kids. Like I'd go into a game of zombies with my mic on and be like, yo, what's going on, everybody? My name's Kuzumai. In today's video, we're going to be doing this, that, and the other. And these kids would go, oh my God, are you a YouTuber? Oh my God, da, 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 da. And I was just doing it, and I wasn't recording it at all. And I was just being dumb, thinking like, oh my God, these kids think I'm a YouTuber. Whoa. And like that night, I like laid down in bed and thought, maybe I should make a YouTube channel. Maybe I should. And I just realized about talking about all this that I completely forgot to talk about my son, who was even in the original part of the video. Let me backtrack quite a bit. My son is 3 years old. He is a little shithead, but he's my shithead because he is just like me. So I'm a shithead, just to throw that in there. So I don't know. Like I said, I have a lot of tattoos. Hold on, let me get this camera here. That's not gonna work. Here we go. If you guys haven't seen these before, this is my daughter's footprint. This is my son's footprint. And then across my neck here, it says, "My Little Hellions." That is because that is exactly what they are. They are my little hellions. And I love them to death, and I would do anything for them. Back on track to what I was saying, which I don't remember. Oh yeah, making a YouTube channel. I laid in bed and I was like, you know what? I should probably make a video. I mean, I don't see why not. I have all the stuff to make a video. So I started making YouTube videos. I learned how to stream. I knew I needed an Elgato. I knew I needed all these things, and I started streaming, and that was amazing. And I guess the rest you say is history. But October, what the fuck? In October of 2017, just this past month or past couple months, is when I got out of the military and I moved back to my hometown in Kansas. And I have been gaming ever since. I still ride my bike, as you've seen in a couple videos past. I don't know really where else to go with this. I kind of caught up to my life as it is now. But all of this channel is because of you guys. So I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, that's more or less me. If you have any questions about any part of my life, drop them down in the comment section. And if I think it's too personal to put on YouTube, I'll let you know and say, hey, go to the Discord. I'll pull you into, we can put it in that chat and do it that way. By the way, which is also in the description if you want to join my Discord channel. If you're new to the channel, drop a sub. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. It'll mean a lot. And we'll see you on the next ones, guys. Peace.